right, who wants to hear about high-octane adventures and the latest and greatest on the motor scene? It's time to rev it up with John and Jess on Joy 1340.
Welcome back to Rev It Up with John and Jess, coming at you at Joy 1340 AM and 98.7 FM.
Hey, everybody. Well, I just got back from a cool adventure, which I won't tell anybody about, but we're going to discuss where I was over the weekend.
You're so mysterious.
So mysterious? Mysterious, like right.
Actually, you're probably one of the most transparent people I've ever met in my life.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the other word, the other trans word. I'm kidding. God, it was just a joke.
You need to work on your material.
All right, I will. Sorry. So anyways, so everybody who's watching on the old Book of Face and social media knew that Kyle and I went out to Vegas and to California for a little secret mission. So we can't announce that yet. But one of the cool places we went, of course, we went and saw, stopped and saw our buddy Honey Mike and Ryan, of course, while we were out there.
Saw the videos.
Saw the videos of my Uber driver, old Honey Mike, when he dropped us off at
in his Malibu.
Fremont Street in his Malibu. Yeah. Thanks, Mike. That was a good video. I really liked that one. It was great. But the biggest place we went to, which I'm really happy to be partners up with these guys, and well, we all are now, is Dave Shuten and Bo Bachman, right? Is that how you say it, Bachman?
I'm not sure. I thought it'd be Beckman, but Beckman. I don't know.
Could be. Sorry about. Just want to make sure. But I've been wanting to go to this place for years, and it's a great place. And of course, Dave Shuten I've been a huge fan of this guy forever. So we actually got to visit Galpin Auto Sports in Van Nuys, California. It was pretty cool. Definitely really cool.
Was the weather nice?
It was the big transition. We left Vegas at like 4 a.m. and it was a hot, dry heat. You know, it was really hot. It was like 112 when we got there. So Kyle was like, "I really like it down here," until he had to load something up, and then he's like, "I hate it here."
Right.
So yeah, change in 10 minutes.
It's a little warm.
But in California, it was really nice. It's like sweatshirt and shorts weather. It's really nice. So the nice breeze. It's totally different when you get over there. I think it took us about 4 hours to get over there, so it wasn't bad. But we ride down there at Galpin, and that place is huge because they have it's like a dealership, and they've got like 4 different places with regular cars, dealership cars, custom built cars. There were some celebrities there, which I can't really say who they were, but they were getting one big celebrity, a WWE star, also was getting a truck built there. So it was pretty neat. So, and then I showed everybody the showrooms, of course, that were on our videos, but it was pretty neat. And I had no idea when I talked to Bo. I watched his show years ago, and he had this big, long beard, this crazy hair and all that stuff. And I had no idea that was him when I was talking to him because he came in, and he was clean cut. He had his hair back in a ponytail.
Okay. Yeah, you didn't mention him when you talked to me.
No, because I didn't realize it was him. I felt so stupid. And here I was.
As you should.
I did. And so when I was out there and we were filming and doing other stuff, and I'm like, all right. I'm like, what the heck? You know, so I was talking to Shuten, of course, because I remember him from the show. And I do this whole thing with Bo and all this other stuff, and he's like, "Man, he goes, Bo's like, I've been watching you," and we're like, "Yeah, we're watching each other on Facebook and whatever." And I'm like, "Yeah, I was a total fan of what you guys do." And he's like, "Yeah, I had to go deliver a car to a celebrity." And he goes, "I just built this custom car for him." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And I didn't really know who he was, and I'm like, "Oh, I knew who he was, but
Sure.
So then after we were all done, I'm talking to Dave, and I'm like, "Hey, when you were on that TV show years back," I said, "Who was the guy that you had working?" He goes, "That's the guy you just been talking to for like an hour." And I'm like, "Are you kidding?"
Feel like a giant ass?
Like, oh my God.
I would be like, what?
And I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe that was Bo. So anyways, I'll let you fill everybody in with your facts here of where everything is. Of course, we're in Van Nuys, California.
Yeah. Galpin Speed Shop is a division of Galpin Auto Sports. Galpin Auto Sports is a part of Galpin Motors Incorporated, which is the #1 volume Ford dealership in the world and one of the top California dealerships with more than $700 million in annual sales.
Yeah, it was a city of this place. And I was like, we turned down the first street, and I'm like, and Kyle and I, we're driving that big box truck that everybody saw us driving. And our address is like, yeah, well, there's Galpin. We turned down there. And I called Shut, I'm like, hey, we're getting next. They're going to put us on, do the filming and everything. We walked in. And he's like, no, you're a couple streets away. And I'm like, what do you mean it's Galpin? I'm like, everything around here says Galpin. He's like, he goes, do you know how big this place is? I said, clearly I don't. So we went all the way around this whole subdivision, or industrial park.
Subdivision?
Not subdivision, industrial park. I apologize. And then we finally came in. I'm like, oh, he's right there. So we came all the way around, and we basically had to go all the way down the area. But it's huge. I was very impressed. So, with all that stuff, I had no idea they were in that stuff. So, yeah.
And tell us about Dave Shuten. What kind of gentleman is he?
Dave is a quiet kind of guy.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to take him at first. That's
Sure.
why I made a couple of funny videos with him just so he could kind of break the ice a little bit. So it was different. And Kyle said, he goes, I don't know if Dave that's his real laugh or that's just the way he is. And I said, yeah. I said, we can talk about it and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, every time we'd make a joke, he'd do the same little laugh, But then after a while, he kind of loosened up because, of course, he had an amazing toy collection, which I told you about. And I showed you his videos of that, which I was really impressed because, like I said, I saw the biggest thing he had a lot of George Barris's collection when George Barris locked up. So he has a lot of Barris's cars there and all that stuff. So I was highly impressed with everything he did.
It was a neat showroom based off the videos you sent me and the lives you did. That was pretty impressive.
Yeah, it was pretty neat. And he's not even from there. Like you said, he was, I think you got it written down. He's from...
He's a Midwestern boy.
Yeah, he's originally from Michigan.
He grew up in a small town in Michigan, building go-karts and mini bikes from salvage parts from a nearby junkyard. He frequented indoor car shows in the 70s and idolized the works of Ed Roth and George Barris. At the age of 14, he began building his first car, a 1966 Chevy Impala SS. He spent 16 years as a tool and die maker for GM, but continued to spend whatever time he had dedicated to building cars. And let's just say it has paid off.
Oh, he's dedicated his life to it. And, when he, I think, and you even wrote it down, in 03, he built a replica Ed Roth's iconic twin-engine Mysterion, which earned him on the first cover of Rod and Custom magazine and started his career as a custom car builder and restorer. And, I mean, his work is phenomenal. Fabricator, painter, engine builder. I mean, he does it all. And I looked at the size of their shop when I put on social media. I'm like, so how many people are on your crew? And he's like, it's my shop. He said, it's just me. And I love these guys that do it everything themselves.
He does like the paint and everything?
Everything. He's got his own spray booth and everything there.
That is crazy.
Yeah. They do other custom builds, of course, that Dave will work on, and then it goes to the other shops. But all the custom high-end is just Dave. It's just Dave. He does it all.
Do you know how far out he is as far as projects?
Oh, I know it's years. I'm not sure. We didn't get an exact time frame. I'll go one of them out there in a couple of weeks. I'm sure we'll talk more about that. But yeah, it's pretty crazy though.
Wow, good for him.
Yeah, and like I said, his showroom is bar none. And I know he's partnering with Bo and Galpin and stuff like that. And they got there to start together. And as we know, if you have the right business partners and friends and backers, you can go far.
For sure.
And but yeah, he did a lot. And like I said, he was, it was just amazing, his work that I saw.
He started working with Bo when he restored Ed Roth's bubble top Orbitron show car. In January of 2010, he moved to Cali to work for Bo full time. In 2017, they created the Galpin Speed Shop, which is an automotive laboratory to create and restore the most iconic hot rods and custom cars. Some of his more notable ones are the Iron Orchid, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And the recreation of the classic Grasshopper.
Yeah, it's the cars in the showroom were so neat because I remember seeing these cars in magazines when I was a kid, and these were built way in the 60s and 70s. And then I have the models of them, and some are in my show. The models of them, small die-casts of them are in my showroom, and then to see them in full life some of these cars I've never even seen before.
Yeah.
So it was pretty neat to see all this stuff. And
I was surprised to see the Pink Panther mobile in there. That is a unique
that is so
vehicle.
Cool. So I think a lot of people don't realize that some of these, after him, Dave and Bo got together, they started searching around the country for all of Barris's and Ed Roth's creations that were kind of built and lost and archived in warehouses and garages around the country. So they started buying them back and restoring them for the new showroom that they have. And it's crazy impressive. It's really cool. And I think, it's the stuff he has there is, it's just amazing. Of course, he had one of the original Munsters coach, and then he had original Batmobile too. So he had a lot of that stuff there too.
How many cars-ish would you say were in that showroom?
I would say in that showroom, pieces together, I think 30 or 40, okay. I would say. Yeah, there was, because I'm thinking the one row with a virus car when it came upstairs, I think there was like 6 or 7 there, and then that one little corner is like another 5 or 6 over there, and then plus all little individual pieces. So, yeah, I want to say at least 30, if not more, pieces in there, because there was a really cool display of choppers and the old iconic rods in there.
Any idea what he drives personally? Does he have a personal one that he drives?
No, I wasn't sure what he drives personally, but I did see there's a couple of old hearses outside, like the yellow one we used to have, the 56. Yeah, he had a couple of those out there. And, of course, it's California, so everything's nice and rust-free over there now.
Right.
Place, so. But, But there was a couple really neat things. He did build a couple, which I didn't get to that showroom, but there's a couple wheelie trucks and everything down there that they're pretty neat. So
he's got more than one showroom for the speed shop?
Yeah. Well, the speed shop's got its own showroom, but then Galpin, I brought those posters back, and they've got their own little showroom up at the Motorsports show. Mm-hmm. And that's got some pretty neat some stuff where they built a Evel Knievel truck for Evel back in the day, and they displayed it and gave it to him and stuff like that. So all that's up there.
Nice.
So, yeah, so they've got some really, really neat stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, so one thing I see wrote on there that I started following, and I didn't know they even had the show, but in 2020 is when they made the show. Mm-hmm. That's what you're saying? That's what you figured out?
Yep. Discovery.
So Discovery had it. So and I didn't know that. So I was saying, I watched them with the show. They redid a couple things. I think one of the biggest ones that he did when they did Discovery, they redid, and I made a Facebook reel and a video of that one. It's the little red wrecker for Sanford.
Yeah, there's pictures of it. Yep.
Yeah, Red Fox. That is so cool. And that was built by G.A.S. So they bought that and restored it.
Nice. Well, the show that was on Discovery was called Car Kings, and it followed Dave and his colleagues at Galpin Auto Sports as they rescued and restored famous and historic cars. Their premiere aired in March of 2020, and the first episode was titled Shelby's Secret Project and takes us through Carroll Shelby's secret De Tomaso Pantera project. Are you familiar with that one?
I've heard of it. I've seen it. Yeah, it's a race car. And then, of course, we got that's where the big project that they had with Shelby's Secret. Again, there were so many experimental cars that they didn't want out. Mm-hmm. So people would build these cars, and kind of like, we have a GT40 ourselves. That was an experimental car. And we couldn't, we don't announce those cars out, because otherwise people in the car world back then, even more today, that they will take in your ideas and patent them or grab them before you do it. And,
right. Then you're SOL.
Yeah. The car world, I think, over the years, a lot of people don't realize it, but, some of the movies that have come out, like Ford versus Ferrari and stuff.
Yeah.
So people will come up with an idea and they will steal the stuff. And we've even watched.
Totally.
What was the show that we would always watch on The Men Who Built America, the cars or the industry? So you've seen where people, they used to literally go out and hire assassins to kill people. When Henry Ford was doing stuff, they had all the stuff that he used to hire hitmen and take ideas, and stuff like that from Edsel and all this other stuff. I'm like, holy crap, was that bad?
Cutthroat business.
It's a really cutthroat business. So you wonder if it kind of still goes on.
Dollar is king.
So you wonder if it still goes on today?
Yes.
Yeah.
In every aspect, I do.
Aspect. I think it's worse now than
Take
ever
out
was.
your competition.
I think it's worse now than ever was.
For sure.
Yeah, because everybody's trying to get a cutting edge above. And now with the social media thing and everybody else going on there, everybody's trying to get the next leg up of what the next thing is going to be. So I think
I couldn't imagine being that kind of person. That greed is your driver.
I think there's a lot more of that out there than we ever think.
Oh, for sure. I'm finding that out.
Yeah, we know that for sure, don't we? Yeah, there's more people. I lived
in a little bubble for the first 45 years of my life.
Kind of woke you up a couple years
Yeah,
back,
people are mean.
They definitely are. And as you go through...
They're shady.
And, even, and I guess I'll touch base on it a little bit, is because, George Barris was, of course, the one who created the Batmobile and everything. He did the General Lee, he did all these other things. But then there was one, other people are like, well, he didn't do this one, so-and-so built that car. So there was, who was giving the correct accolades for doing that? Because I think one of the controversy cars was the Monkey Mobile.
Who made that?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one, isn't it?
I do love the Monkey Mobile.
So I know you do, because the monkeys are your favorite thing. So
yeah.
The Monkey Mobile, which there's a couple of them out there yet. More than one.
Ooh, let's get one.
I know you like. That is a cool car. You know what kind of car it's based off?
I would love one. Impala?
Oh my gosh. Excuse everybody for that.
I don't know.
I don't know her. I'm sorry.
At least I know what words mean.
Do you, though?
Yeah.
It's a 66 or 67 GTO.
Is it?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know why? Because it threw me off from that one from Holy Hill that I like so much, that Impala. Hey, it is what it is. This is me. Take it or leave it.
That was a 68 Impala, but yeah.
Do you know how many cars I see?
Everybody sees a lot of cars every day on the way to work.
Okay, like Geo Metros and stuff like that. We're talking like old school cars.
So yeah.
Sorry I let you down.
So I know there was some controversy on there because I had one of these in my cabinet, and George Barris signed the top of a Monkey Mobile, a little one made by Gorky Toys, and I had somebody in there as a custom car builder years ago in my shop. He's like, why did George Barris on top of it? He didn't build that car. I'm like, I'm not getting into it with you. And I'm like, okay. So There's a lot of controversy that who built what, and whose name was on, and who took the rights for everything.
To be fair, I'm trying to recall this from memory because I haven't watched that show since I was a child.
I'm going to look it up while you're doing it.
So that was like literally 40 years ago.
Oh, for sure.
So
for sure,
can you cut a girl some slack?
There was I can't think of the other name on it. So
I will mention that Shuten and Beckman have been inducted into the National Rod and Custom Car Hall of Fame in Akron, Ohio.
Yes.
Good for them.
So I didn't want to say his name wrong, so that's why I looked it up. So when the Monkey Mobile, they said it was modified a Pontiac GTO, and that it was designed and built by designer Dean Jeffries. He was another big icon of these guys also. I just want to make sure I said it right before that. And it was an amazing car and stuff like that. And there was a GTO emblem on the front grille. So, and of course,
oh, look, there it is. I haven't seen it in a hot minute.
But there's a lot of stuff that said, he either Bears had a partner and do whatever. But anyways, the whole thing, we didn't mean to get off track there, but people, of course, who built it, who designed it, who gets credit for it. That's what it is. But I mean, Bears itself, and I think one of the pictures I showed you in the video, George Bears Customs out of California had his whole thing on the front of there, and he had these little plywood cutouts. And there was the General Lee, the Batmobile, the Munsters coach, the Dragula and all that other stuff. So he had them all out there. So I mean, he's made so many iconic cars. It's great.
I think it goes back like a long time, and it's not just material things that people try to take. So I found an article not too long ago. It was a little bit off subject, but Albert Einstein, like I guess his wife was like smarter than he was.
Yeah, I heard that before. I've heard that.
And like he took her stuff. And look at where we're at now. All we hear about is Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein. Yeah. Well, guess what? Behind every great man, there's a better woman.
God, if only it's idea I could steal from you.
And people would probably... I did hear a story, too, like the whole, how Rosa Parks refused her seat on the bus.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
There was a chick before that actually did it. And she gets zero credit.
She gets zero credit for it, yeah.
It goes all genres of life. People trying to take what you got, take your credit.
Well, there's a lot of that around.
Steal your thunder.
We could have a whole nother show on who's stealing our stuff.
We could. So anyway, back to where we are.
So anyways, about the show. So I guess one of the car kings, it's kind of hard to find. We're trying to find it on social media.
It's got to be on YouTube, isn't it?
I tried to find it. It's really hard to find. So when they premiered and they did the other stuff, in addition to the other builds, which you have to look these all up because a lot of people don't understand this, but the Roth Trike, the Gold Digger, Quarter Midget, are just named a few. Some of the other ones. One of the coolest one I saw there was a twin bathtub. I showed you that. Yeah,
that was an odd one for sure.
That was really cool. Yeah. The one truck I talked to with Ryan Evans from Counting Cars when I came back on Monday night. I think it was. I came back on Monday and we talked to Ryan a little bit. Actually, I think it was Tuesday night. I'm sorry. We came back late Tuesday night. And Ryan has never been out there. I'm like, so I felt like privileged. So Ryan Evans, the world famous Ryan Evans, who is the best painter in the world, hands down. Everybody says he's one of the best painters in the world. And he works for, obviously, Danny Coker with Counting Cars. And he goes out there and he goes, man, that is on my bucket list to get there.
Really?
And I was like, and I told him I was going out there. I'm like, what? I said, you have not been to Shutens? I said, I've done something before. He's like, yeah. He goes, I'm really kind of ticked about this whole situation. Then I told him about the little secret mission he's got. And then he's like, how the hell? He's on. I'm like, well, I don't know. I said, it all worked out. But one truck that's really iconic, and they made a little Hot Wheels out of it, out of the Hot Wheels red lines back in the day that we know about. So a lot of these cars were made into the on the Hot Wheels and the red lines. And the one big truck is the ice truck, the famous ice truck. And that is one that Ryan wants to make. It's got two small block Chevys and the blowers are on an angle instead of straight. So the motor looks like it's tilted coming at you. It's really cool and really iconic. And so the same thing with that. And the bathtub, of course, you sit on a toilet to drive it. So it's pretty cool.
Of the pictures you showed me, I liked the milk truck and the ice truck.
Yeah, those are cool. Those are really cool. They kind of look like the old paddy wagon cars, the little curved roof on the front. Yep. And then, of course, he did his own little kick on there. And the paint on them is just amazing. Yeah. The paint, and then, Dave is the one who does all his own painting and stuff like that. And, of course, Bo helps him do that stuff. But it's just, it's some really great stuff.
So what does Bo do these days, then? Do you know?
I did not get into that too much. I know he's going to be part of the filming industry that we're going to be doing into for a documentary that's coming up. But I didn't get into too far as what Bo, pretty much I know Bo's a major part of Galpin,
So I got lots of questions. Did you ask him how long a build takes?
I was there for 3 or 4 hours.
I don't care.
I was literally on the road. Okay,
3 or 4 hours, you can just sit him down and talk about a lot of things.
No, we weren't sitting down.
I'm giving you the business.
Yeah, I know. So when I talked to Bo for an hour and he had to run.
No, I was talking about Dave.
Well, Dave, I was there for a while, and I asked him, I said, hey, what's up with the Merc on this Mercury? He had a 49 Mercury. It was a chop-top car. Beautiful car, but the floors were done crappy in it. So he pulled the car back off the frame and put a different chassis and everything on it. And he's like, yeah, I got to get back on that. I've had that one for a while now. So I don't know. I mean, I know a lot of these guys, the builds are a year or two easily. When they're doing
Do you know if he searches for his buys? Or...
For the buys that he's looking for? Well, he just had one called the bed buggy. Mm-hmm. It's on there. So literally you're sitting on a mattress and you're driving and it's the gas pedal is down there and it's got a little brake on it. But it's a little T-handle. You steer it like this. Mm-hmm. It's pretty cool. So so he had it on there. So that one he just found in the storage unit and he restored it.
So he is potentially searching for them, or does he have
I think he does a lot of searches himself. But they found a lot of them. There's a lot of them out there. And I said, how many more out there? He said, there's tons of them out there yet.
He's probably like you, where people have got their eyes peeled for him, like, hey, I found this.
Where people send them
Kansas.
through. Yeah, look at how many people nowadays hit us up for cars every day. Yeah. We get probably 20, 30 cars sending over a day. Mm-hmm. I don't know, stuff. And we don't even have them there.
Got some good friends for sure.
Yeah, we've got a lot of good leads and a lot of people that are coming up for us for doing that stuff. So I wish we could hit them all, everybody, by the way, but we don't have enough time. Mm-hmm. So we send a lot of leads out though, but yeah. So, but no, it was really neat. The showroom was really amazing to see. And the one thing that I was really impressed when I was seeing Dave's showroom is he has all of the original George Barris models. So the thing that was impressed with that, the car models, so all the custom cars that he built, George Barris, before it became into a model form, which all the kids buy now, right? Mm-hmm. Like if he made the ice truck or if he made any other truck or the bed buggy, George Barris cut apart stuff. This is in the 60s, so there wasn't all cool stuff that we have now. It's just a hot knife. So George Barris cut apart these pieces and made his custom, taking all the other parts and made his own models. And then he formed them into his car. That was his model that he had.
Oh, okay.
And then after the car was built, well, then Monogram or, all these other stuff, that Revell, then they made all the models out of it.
Sure.
But Shuten has got all the original models all the way across.
Oh, that's cool.
They're all handmade by George Barris in the 60s.
That's got to be some priceless stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I think I showed you a lot of stuff in there. There was some original Mego, Batman, and I don't know what else I was showing you. It was pretty neat. Oh, the robots. The robots I showed you.
Yeah, you're like a kid in a candy store.
Yeah. I like toys.
It's funny that you can meet somebody famous and you're like, hey, how's it going? But you get around toys, you're like, and then there's this, and then there's this, and check this out.
It's rare stuff. It's cool, rare stuff. Kids these days don't have any good toys. They all suck.
No.
And if there's, we could go on. We could do a whole story on toys, because toys are so cool from back.
I'm still bitter. I missed out on that He-Man puzzle.
Yep. So you could add the He-Man puzzle. Somebody just messaged me in a whole He-Man collection.
Really?
But I didn't tell you.
No, you didn't.
I didn't tell you because, it happens.
I do love me some He-Mans and She-Ras.
He-Mans, She-Ras, Thundercats, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So on there. So no, I just want to thank Dave, of course, for inviting us out, and we look forward to seeing him in a couple of weeks, and Bo, for being out there.
Now that you know who he is.
Yeah. No, well, if he didn't shave his face like that, yeah. So a couple of the cars that I saw out there that was really neat. That was the Econoline and some of the other ones that he had, but he's just, the shop itself was just so amazing. The showroom, and of course, all his little posters and all the old movie posters he had over there. So it's an experience all himself just to go.
His advertising posters, the one that he signed, were those are really cool too.
Yeah. I think he hand painted all those too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he hand painted all those. Those are really, really impressive. I mean, and he's just he still goes on tour. He's doing a couple. Matter of fact, that's why we kind of had to take a break from what we're doing with them in California when we go through. So we're going from there and we go back out. So that was the biggest thing, that he'll be coming back. So he does a lot of tours yet doing that because he's really well known in the hot rod industry. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think right now he's acclimated one of the best builders in the world. That's awesome. Yeah, so it's pretty neat. Great guy for sure. Yeah, great guy. Good for him. That's I love stories like that. And he's very humble about it. That's even better. Yeah, that's what I really like. So that was kind of our trip. We kind of got back on, we left on Sunday night, right in Vegas. Kind of got back there and did all our stuff on Tuesday and I think by the time we got back from Shuten's in California, Kyle and I drove the box truck all the way through, and then we were back on Wednesday. Back in Wisconsin.
Just another day in the life.
Just another day in the life. Yeah, they just kind of called and said, "Hey, you're going on the road," and I'm like, "All right." So I didn't really know we were going to drive we had to go get a 26 box truck in Vegas.
Was huge.
Yeah. And Kyle was supposed to go with me, Kyle, and help me drive. That's the whole reason for the trip, but he didn't drive at all.
No.
He was scared.
Well, yeah.
He was scared of what we were hauling to damage that, and the other thing he was scared of is the traffic coming out of Vegas to California and everything on the way back. So it was a pretty interesting ride, though.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but it was fun, though. I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll do it again. Another secret mission. So I like it. So what else is coming up next?
And that's all I got. We're out of time.
We're out of time? Oh, man, that was it already, yeah? Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that's really good.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Till next time.
All right. See ya.